I came to know Dr. Stile when he moved in next door to me. I moved in first, and I had just talked to my husband about having some work done. And since my husband knew a lot of doctors at Scripps Clinic, I thought about that. And then, lo and behold, I see the Clinique car next door. And I said, you know, I saw that ad somewhere. And I looked him up, and I made an appointment, and we've been friends ever since, until I got to meet him and made my first appointment. And for some reason, we just seemed to click. I didn't really know that much until I looked further after that meeting and found out that he had done, you know, all the surgeries that I wanted done, to be honest with you. And I've had a few surgeries done in other places, but he was by far the best. When I first met him, I looked at him and thought he could be my son. He's about the same age as my son. And we just hit it off. I don't know whether it was chemistry, but I liked him immediately. I knew that he was very, very knowledgeable. And as I said, after I met him, I knew that because I knew a lot of other doctors, other surgeons. And he just came across as being extremely knowledgeable. And my husband did a lot of research on him to make sure that he was good. And he came away thinking the same thing, and I've never been sorry. Did I know that Dr. Stile was an accomplished artist? No, not right away. But he, in the course of our getting to know each other, he met my daughter, who is an artist. And the two of them started conversing, and he'd come to my house, and we'd talk things, you know, about art and things. And he started telling me that he could paint, and he could do a lot of creative things. And I think that Dr. Stile's attention to perfection is wonderful. He told me the story about how his dad taught him how to do stitches, and I've never seen stitching done quite the same way. I've never had a scar. I mean, he's wonderful. I selected Dr. Stile as my surgeon because as I said, I knew other surgeons, and I've seen work that they've done, and I knew them as friends, and they're great people. But when I saw some of the work that he did, I've seen books and pictures and things, I was really impressed. It was the natural look that I thought most of the women had that I hadn't seen really before. Everybody always looked like they had something done, and he seemed to have the knack to make it look good and natural. Yes. I started feeling that, with Dr. Stile, I started feeling that I was showing more wrinkling, and you know, I was aging, and I didn't mind that so much, but I didn't like looking in the mirror not liking what I saw. And when I went to Dr. Stile, he was very honest with me. I mean, he told me exactly what to expect, and not to think that, you know, you can do, like, I didn't want to be plastic looking, and he understood that completely. And I'm 73, so yes. And I feel wonderful. And along with that came all of his wonderful thinking, you know. Dr. Stile also adds another element to his surgery. He makes you feel, he gives you confidence in a very unique way. When he talks to you, he doesn't talk down to you or make you feel silly for wanting to have this done. He truly enjoys what he does, and that makes the patient enjoy it. How long was it before I decided to have plastic surgery? Well, I would say probably a few years I was thinking about it. You know, I did what most women do. You go out and you buy every product in creation and you try it, and then you realize that that's never going to happen. And you look in the closet one day and you say, it's time. So I guess it was about maybe 2 years before I decided. On my first visit to the office, I really did think that it carried everything that I wanted to see. I mean, I knew that it was professional from the minute I walked in. It didn't look like a doctor's office. It didn't have the smell of a doctor's office. It just made you feel like it was going to be a professional experience, and it always has been. Dr. Stile's staff has always been extremely nice and knowledgeable. My surgery day was amazing because I was excited, not nervous at all. I was just excited because by that time I had gotten to know Frank. And I had no qualms whatsoever. In fact, I was more excited about knowing what was going to be than worrying about how it was going to turn out. The experience of the surgery, the first surgery, was a little bit tough. I never had any, I'll be honest with you, I never had any pain or anything where I needed medication. I got it, but I didn't feel that I needed it, you know. The only thing that I felt was when he did my neck, it felt very tight. And that was the most uncomfortable part of it. But outside of that, the surgery went through fine. The anesthesiologist was wonderful that he had. It just was not something that I would tell people, oh, you know, be scared of that. I thought it was okay. The impression I had of the surgical team was that they were all as professional as Frank. And I knew at that point, that first time when I met them all, because they were different staff, and when I met them, I felt very comfortable because I knew that he had picked probably the best people you could have. They were really, really well schooled. I mean, they were just wonderful. My recovery was wonderful. I know it sounds like I'm, you know, just loving all of this, but I have to say, I mean, I've had surgeries done before, and they were nothing like this. I mean, this was, I was just very comfortable. I felt that his attention to detail was great. I had my appointments set when I needed them, and when I got in, I went right in to see him. It was a very satisfying experience. My recovery, as I can remember now, I thought was extremely easy. I thought it would be a little more difficult, but it really wasn't. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that when you go to see him in your post-op, he gives you the confidence that this is going to turn out just the way he said it was going to turn out. That when I asked him questions, and he had an answer for everything, and it was a very easy experience, actually. My surgical procedure, am I happy? Yes. I think not only did he do what I wanted, but because he did it, it gives you the confidence to make yourself better. I mean, I exercise more because I like what I see. You know, I don't feel my age, so I don't act my age. And I think that's the biggest reward that you can get from it. Okay. Knowing what I know now, I would absolutely do it again. Absolutely.